Hi guys, and welcome back to the Milk Round, Castlemilk Youth Complex's very own podcast. We bring this podcast out to you every week on a Thursday night, giving you news about the community, news about the youth complex, and just trying to cheer you up a wee bit and try and reach out to you young people because the complex isn't open right now. So this is episode 27 we're on now. So there's quite a lot of episodes on our YouTube channel, which are probably on just now. So if you can like our videos, subscribe to our channel, ring the bell for notifications, share our videos on all your social media platforms. That would help us out a lot. Comment down below as well, any topics or anything you want to see. As you can see, if you're a regular viewer, we've got Kirsty back on as host. So thanks for coming on, Kirsty. How you doing? You all right?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks very much. I know you love coming on, so you're part of the Milk Round team now. You're officially, I think I said that last time, but like you're in the mainstay of the Milk Round hosting team. Me, you and Chris. As long as you two don't go up against each other in the quiz again, because that could cause a fierce rivalry. I think
Chris... Maybe we should do a Christmas special, and it's me that does the questions. I'm the quiz master, and it's you and Chris against each other.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know. That's why I chose to ask all the questions. So, if you can check out our other videos, that would help us out a lot. A lot of people have been sharing on social media, and it has helped us get our views. So our regular viewing numbers are over 100 now, which is brilliant to see. So if you can share on your social medias, and we'll share on our social medias, and you can get us on social media at Facebook at Kelly Youth Complex Staff, Twitter at Youth Complex CYC, Instagram is youth_complex, our TikTok is Kelly Youth Complex, and you can email us as well if you're looking for any more information at cycyouthteam@gmail.com. There we go. I'm getting really good at that now.
Did you see that in one breath?
I did. I think I'm dying now. So last week's episode went really well. We had Kelly on as a guest, and myself and Kelly were interviewed by Chris on what myself, you, and Kelly do in the school. You got a wee shout out as well. I don't know if you watched last week. So that was a good episode, and if you're a Castlemilk High pupil, I'd recommend you go and watch that. Because it would just give you information on what we actually do in the school.
Or if you're coming up to Castlemilk High School as well.
Aye, exactly. So you're involved in 2 of the videos then. So I don't know if you heard, but we give you a shout out for the most viewed YouTube video on our channel. That wonderful tour that you did.
Oh my god.
It was brilliant, honestly.
We had so much fun doing that, didn't we?
No, right. That was one of the days in summer, and we're up your seat with all the rims and all that.
In school, and we're like, Mum will blow about.
The techie bit is my favourite.
Yeah. So good to see you there.
If you don't know what we're talking about, go and check that one out. That is a good video, but also check out our other episodes, please, guys. So that was last week's, and now on to this week. We've got some more guests lined up this week, pretty exciting. So if you watched last week's, you'll know who it is, but we'll keep it quiet just now until we get through our wee regular sections. But keep watching, and you can find out who that is at the end. And so we go into our first section, really, which is our nice news section. Now we just want to cover what we've covered before in our nice news. I think we've done it a couple of times, and it was a topic when you were on last time, Kirsty, and it is a Secret Santa project in the youth complex. Can you just give us a wee update on how that's going?
Yeah, so CYC Secret Santa, and I am shocked, and I don't know why I'm shocked, because Castlemilk is like an amazing community, and everybody always comes together. But seriously overwhelmed with the amount of donations that we've got. We've actually made 84 bags.
Wow.
84 bags so far, and they're not just like one that everything, like they are really good bags. And then we're still making more. We are short on shampoo and conditioner.
Okay.
They're the things that we're kind of short on, but we're actually probably it's generic way everything, and we're going to try and see as many bags as we can get making.
Right.
But I've already handed out a couple of bags to some of the people that are meeting up with, like maybe the youth stress or meeting with myself for an appointment. And I don't know if I'll see them before we stop for Christmas break or anything like that, because they might not come to our event. So it was good to actually see a young person receiving them.
Aye.
It was really quite nice.
Excellent. Good stuff. Aye, so if you guys are looking to donate to that, just get our social medias for the information. And if you are going to donate, help us out with some shampoo and conditioner if you have it.
And it needs to be before the 11th, or
before the
including
11th.
the 11th of December.
Okay, brilliant. So we'll promote that this week and we'll do it next week as well, because we record this on the Wednesday and it goes out on the Thursday. So 11th should be the Friday then.
Yes.
Aye. Okay, we think. We're speaking in past, future and present tense, I think. Aye, brilliant. Also, Kirsty, you said about an event that's coming up, so maybe that could be some of your nice news as well we could share.
God, yes, so we are going to be having, drumroll please, the CYC Christmas market. So you don't think about your St Enoch Square market, don't think about your George Square. This is going to be the one. Edinburgh market, who? It's going to be the business. It's going to be, people have specific time slots and you come, you can have some fun, chill with some youth workers, have some banter, get some grub, play some games, listen to some music. And we might be unravelling the start of a new project in the youth complex.
Oh, exciting stuff, exciting stuff. So
keep your eyes peeled for the poster.
Yep, that information should be coming out soon. And then it'll be first come, first serve for booking spaces, because I think it's going to be a popular one, especially a year like this. We're not getting to the youth complex much, and we're looking for as much festive cheer as possible, I think. So that's two of our nice news stories, and our last one kind of links in with what you were saying about Castlemilk being such a giving community, and it is the wee street shelf that has been set up, Kirsty. So do you want to just tell everyone what that's about then?
Yeah, so friends of the complex, Kath Milligan, and a few people in her street have set up like a food pantry. So it's on, what's the address again, Lee?
It is between 23 and 27 Crawford Quad.
So what they're doing is there's bags of perishable, non-perishable foods, so basically foods that don't need to be in a fridge or anything like that, but with the weather outside, it's basically a fridge anyway. And you can help yourself. You can give what you can, take what you need, and it's all about helping each other out. And there's no judgment about going or whatever like that. And I think it's just true community spirit that everybody's getting involved in that. There's things from dry foods to toiletries as well. And they're having a thing on Saturday, the 5th of December. So this Saturday coming at 12 p.m. Where you can get a soup pack to make make your own soup, and selection boxes for the kids.
Brilliant.
So that full community's come together, and I don't think you need to be from that street. I think if you're in need, you should go definitely. And I think it's lovely.
Aye, it's excellent. Aye, especially this year that we've had and this time of year. So thanks very much to Kathy and all the helpers and everyone who's donated to that as well. And thanks to everyone who's donated to our project for the Secret Santa as well. So that is nice news in a time of no very nice news. And that is brought to you by the Milk Round, the only place to get your nice news. So that moves us on to our next section. So we're talking a lot about food there. So we can talk some more about food, because that's what we love doing, Kirsty. And we can speak about what's on our telly and what's in our belly right now. So, Kirsty, you've not been on last week, so do you want to step up to the plate and go first?
Right, so what's in my telly? So, I've been watching Netflix a lot, right? And I've watched this programme called Virgin River.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
No, I've not heard it either.
So it's nice, it's kind of cheery and stuff like that. So it's this girl, and she's a nurse, and she is moving away from where she stayed, and she's moving to this wee village, and she sees the picture of it, and it's like, oh, it's like this lodgy type place, and she's like, oh, I'm going to go and get really involved in this community. She turns up, and it's nothing like the picture. And the doctor that is meant to work with her in the surgery doesn't know that the mayor has advertised for her job and gave her the job.
Oh, right, okay.
He's quite resistant of it. Then you get to know the characters a wee bit more, and you get to see why he's resistant and why she moved away from where she was staying and what's happening in her life, and you can see it developing. So I'm actually on season 2.
Right.
Oh, it's brilliant. So it is. I really, really like it. And it's a 12. So
brilliant.
Anybody really can watch
Recommend it to everybody then. Excellent.
It's nice. It's nice telly. You don't need to think too much, and It's quite easy to follow as well.
Aye, shows like that are good, especially if they're work. You can
Yeah.
just sit and chill out and watch it. Aye. So there you
Definitely.
go. That's on Netflix then. Aye.
Yep.
Brilliant. Excellent. Sounds good. Check that one out, guys. And what's in your belly this week, Kirsty?
What's in my belly is I have found like a good old play piece staple.
Right.
I spoke about a play piece staple before,
Mm-hmm.
but this, I found it in B&M the other day. 6-pack of discos.
Right. Okay. Aye.
Oh, how good are discos?
Discos are decent. They're decent. And
Oh, they've got so much flavour on it. The salt and vinegar ones get so much flavour, you end up having a sore tongue
right.
after eating
Okay.
them. Oh, they're so good.
Everybody's a
They
fan of
just-
discos as well.
Aye.
Everybody.
They just pure throw me back. When I was younger, I used to always want cheese and onion.
Right.
I always wanted them. But my favourite now is prawn cocktail.
Right. Nice.
Dynamite.
Aye.
So discos all the way. Get 6 in a pack for £1.
That's decent.
Aye.
But
For week's play pieces.
aye, but it wouldn't last a week in my house. They would
No,
just be
100%.
gone, probably. You need a 6-pack for every day. I don't know if you remember as well, there was a tweet and it was a boy for our area, and he's in where Hira's used to be, so it's Chili Grill now.
Oh, yeah.
Been there years ago, and it went viral, this tweet, and he's holding a packet of discos, and the caption is "Size of that disco," and he's holding a poppadom.
Oh, yes.
It's like a massive poppadom with a packet of discos. It's brilliant. But I only told Brooke about that this summer, and she was like, "What are you talking about?" And I had to search it up, and all my search history on Twitter must have been so weird.
So
like,
strange.
size of that disco, look at this disco, what the hell is this disco?
Big poppadom.
Big poppadom disco. Castle Milk Boy Hod's poppadom. Aye, so discos are, aye.
Yeah.
They're a good shout. I had a snack on last week that I spoke about, McCoy's flame grilled steak, but aye, discos are probably up in the same tier as them.
And I agree with what Chris said last week about your fingers smelling.
What do they call it? Beefy mittens or something?
Beefy mittens.
Pure beefy mittens, man. Aye, brilliant. So that's what's on your telly and what's in my belly. So on my telly, I touched on it last week because I was watching it and Chris ruined it. So cheers, Chris, if you're watching. Thanks very much for ruining it. But I spoke about the actor.
And I was like guessing, and then he said it, and I was like, oh.
No, that's again a ruin. So I spoke about the actor Matthew Broderick and a film that I was watching with him in it, and it's Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I've loved that film for a long time. Like it's a classic, so it is, and it's by the same guy that directs like 16 Candles and Breakfast Club, so it's like classic 80s movies that are like coming of age movies. But Ferris Bueller's Day Off is just hilarious, and there's a brilliant scene where he takes a day off school and pretends to his mum and dad that he's not well, but then he nearly gets caught by like the teacher, and they just get up to so much stuff in Chicago, the main city of Chicago. Him, his girlfriend, and his pal, and it just looks like a really fun day out. And it's all about how lucky he is and stuff like that. And I kind of see myself in him sometimes, so I can relate to the character. But it's a 15. I think it's on Now TV. 15 probably just for the swearing and the innuendos and stuff like that. But I would recommend it to our youngest members at like 11 and 12. They could watch it. Because most of the stuff would just go over their head, I suppose, the innuendos, but the language they've probably heard in South Park and Family Guy and all that. So aye, that's my recommendation for this week, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And what is in my belly this week is, because it is a new month, it is December. Everybody eats something in December.
Yes.
The advent calendar.
Yes.
Aye, so every day you get one wee bit of chocolate, but that one wee bit of chocolate is special. So it is. And always
before you brush your teeth or after?
I've no. I have it later on at night.
Oh, do you?
I don't have it in the morning. I used to when I was younger, so I'm trying to think if I had it before or after I brushed my teeth. I think it was before, because I would have my breakfast, then have my advent calendar chocolate, then brush my teeth before going to school. Aye. But it's just nice to know that you've got that one wee bit of chocolate every day. And my favourite used to be the Maltesers one, because you got a packet of Maltesers on the 24th.
Yes.
But now my favourite is just the plain dairy milk one.
Oh yeah, plain dairy milk all the way.
Aye, definitely.
Well, this year, my advent calendar game has been stepped up.
Okay.
So my cousin got me this one, and normally we have like just wee dafty ones like Peppa Pig and Frozen and stuff like that, which is dynamite. But she got me this Reese's Pieces one.
Right, okay.
And every day you get a wee Reese's cup.
Aye, nice.
Oh my God. I never knew that there was white Reese's cups.
Oh, is it all different type?
Oh my God.
Oh, right, that's good, isn't it?
Aye.
Yeah, that's good.
So
My
good.
sister made me an advent calendar one year. I just turned
Matey
18.
one?
Aye, she made me one. I just turned 18 and she bought a 24 pack of Strongbow and cut holes in the top. So I was at university and she was expecting me to get up in the morning and drink a can of Strongbow every morning before like a lecture or something.
That's class.
Aye, so cheers Stacey for me on the day. So that's what's on our telly and what's in our belly. If you want to tell us what's on your telly and what's in your belly, comment in the comment section down below, or hit us up on social medias. We'll read them out again at the end of the show. But before we get to the end of the show, we've got, as I say, some more guests coming on. So if we can just bring them in now, I'll do a wee introduction as you bring them in. So we have got this week, we've got Michael and Linda from St Margaret Mary's. So Michael and Linda both work at Youth Complex and different organisations within the complex. So Michael's with Streetwise and Linda's with Youth Stress Centre. But they both work in St Margaret Mary's right now. So welcome to the show, guys. Thanks very much for coming on.
Thank you. How you doing? All right?
Aye, good. Thanks yourselves.
Aye, good.
Good.
Cheers for
Got
coming
my
on.
second cup of tea.
A lot of people get worried about coming on and that, but I'm sure you two guys will smash it out of the park.
Aye, right.
Did I just buy a Slytherin cup there?
It is. I'm in Team Slytherin.
Are you?
Ah,
Have
right.
you
It's nothing to
done
do with the colours.
Aye.
big Yeovil Town fan? So yeah, all Michael.
Aye. No, we went to that Harry Potter's one down in London, but it's really good. I don't know if
Oh,
you guys have been there, but it's brilliant. It's really good. So
Did
I
you
came
do
here with
the
a cup.
thing where you're right at the, as if you're going through platform 9 3/4?
Aye. I got all the pictures, done all that. Aye, it was
Oh, I'm
good.
jealous.
Did the song
What am I
tell
doing?
you that you were in Slytherin, or was that just a choice of colours?
No, it told me I was in Slytherin, definitely.
Aye. Because people do all quizzes, didn't they? What people do quizzes to find out what they're in, and I done
Aye.
it. Mine was Hufflepuff.
I've never
Oh, was
tried
it?
it.
Aye.
Hufflepuff, that's probably the worst one I know, Lee.
Right, cheers, Michael. Anyway, cheers for coming.
Probably correct.
Kick 'em out. No, thanks very much for coming on, guys. We'll just finished
Oh,
a wee section called What's on My Telly and What's on My Belly, and every time we've got guests on, we have to ask them as well
Oh, God.
and involved in it. So who'd like to go first on that?
Oh,
When you
I
go
don't
Linda.
know. What? Right, go for
Linda.
it.
What's been on your telly this week?
What's been on my telly? Oh, bloody hell. Oh, God, I better watch my language. I've kind of got into Criminal Minds at the moment. So I'm
yes.
kind of hooked on that at the moment. I've started for series 1 on Netflix. So I'm kind of near the end of season 2. So I've kind of been watching that every night.
Oh, that's good. I never knew it was on Netflix.
Aye, it's got all the series.
Oh, I feel as if I might need to get
There you go, you've hooked Kirsty on it already.
That's great.
Brilliant. So that's what's in your telly. What's in your belly?
What's in my belly? What I've just had?
Aye, you can say what you just had for dinner, right?
Salmon.
Right. Nice.
Really healthy.
Thank you.
And what did you have with
Nice.
Rice. Bit boring. Rice, and that was it.
it? No, it's healthy. That's
Not exciting.
But it's healthy, but it fills you up, I think, salmon.
Sometimes we do these gusto things, so the nights are kind of normal night, when we just put something together that's in the freezer or whatever.
Aye.
So it's quite nice just to have normal food sometimes.
Yeah.
Aye.
Just don't take it into work. You always hate your
No,
colleagues if
no.
they bring salmon in and start putting it in the
God,
microwave. and all that.
That is the worst person in it.
Aye. PC Chapman did that one day.
Oh,
There you go. We've got to dig into the public. The milk round will get shut down.
aye. First time we're
That's
on it, that's
definitely
it done.
a pure PC Chapman.
I know.
Brings shame to the Chapman name.
I was
Aye.
when it first started, I was like, oh, come on, you've got this place sticking.
Good first impression. What about you, Michael? What's on your telly this week?
the kind of last season I finished was the Queen's Gambit. I don't know if you've seen that,
Oh
but
my god, yes.
Heard a lot
that
of
was really good. I thought that was brilliant.
You
Actually, it was
did it.
really, really good.
Oh, it was
Aye.
so
So
good.
I think because what is it, 7 episodes or 8 episodes
Yeah.
or something, but it's you kind of get caught up in it, and it's just the story of this young girl who's in an orphanage and stuff, and then she's really smart, like really good with numbers and stuff, and then she watches somebody playing chess, and she kind of just picks it up like that. But it's a really good story, but it touches on like addiction and all that stuff as well, so it's quite
I need to
it's
watch
quite
it.
good to watch. Aye.
And I heard
That's on
it
Netflix.
was based, like obviously know all the crazy stuff that happens in it.
Aye.
I heard it was based on like a girl that was in an orphanage that was playing in like chess competitions and stuff like that.
I'd read an article, and it was it was a book originally, and I think it based it on 2 female chess players, and it was kind of both of their kind of backstory. So I think that's where it came from. But it's good. You should definitely watch it.
Brilliant, good recommendation.
Definitely.
What about the other part of that then, Michael? What's on your belly this week?
Well, that was again just my dinner the night was a chicken stir fry, something nice and quick and easy. So I just chop up loads of veg and all that stuff, bits of chicken, and then throw the noodles in, nice and easy. But I always like stuff like that, especially if I'm maybe coming home and then working late at night as well. So something like that's nice and quick, and it fills you up for ages as well. So
And good for you.
The main
well,
question
that's
is,
it.
Michael, is how do you pronounce the green thing?
What can-
Mashed out.
I don't know how to pronounce it. What is it?
Is that
Magna?
what you mean?
Mashed-
Out, I think, or something. Is that right, Michael? Mashed out.
I don't even know what that is.
Is that wee green thing in it?
Wee green thing, and it looks like peas in a pod, but it's not, and it's flat.
Aye.
Oh, aye.
I think
don't
it's
know.
mashed out or mashed out or something like that. Know that I'm an expert in pronunciation.
Aye.
Mashed out.
I think you need to go to Marks and Spencer's for that. That's it.
I don't do
Marks
that.
and Spencer's.
Come on.
No, no, the devil's in the Lidl.
I'm Aldi's.
Aye.
Anyway, then that's good recommendations for young people to watch, and then for them to make a quick dinner if they want to make their parents a dinner. Salmon or stir fry. I think that's good. So we'll just move on now, and we brought you on because you both work at St Margaret Mary's. You're both in there. Is it 5 days a week you're both working in there?
Yep.
Well, I'm 4.
I'm 5.
I'm 4 days.
4 and 5, right? Okay, so
Yeah.
we're just going to do a wee interview so that the young people who are maybe at St Margaret Mary's now, or who are coming up next year or in the next couple of years, know exactly what the youth workers in that day within the school. So we're right to just run through the questions now then.
Yeah.
You guys ready?
That's fine. Yep.
Happy days. So first off, what is your roles within the school? So if we put that to Linda first, what is your role within St Margaret Mary's?
Well, I'm kind of slightly different, obviously, from you guys, because I'm not really classed as a youth worker. Although I do consider myself as someone that kind of uses a kind of youth work approach, you know. But as a counsellor, obviously, you know, I'm bound by different kind of ethics, etc., confidentiality, etc. And maybe, you know, like Michael, he kind of, you know, makes himself known to the whole school, whereas I'm a wee bit more kind of, I'm not saying isolated, but I need to keep some kind of, you know, step back, if you know what I mean. That because obviously I don't want, you know, to be talking to all the young people, you know, going down and chatting to them during lunch, and then maybe a client I'm working with is maybe worried that maybe I'm talking about, you know what young people can be like. So I'm not quite as, you know, involved in the kind of full day in the school. I tend to spend most of my time in, you know, the counselling room. So basically, you know, obviously my job is to provide an individual, one-to-one confidential kind of service for young people that are maybe struggling with a range of different issues. So that is a huge range of issues that can range from anxiety, depression, low self-esteem, anger, bereavement, behavioural issues, and sometimes trauma. Sometimes it might just be, you know, maybe they're just kicking off a wee bit and need a wee bit of support. Sometimes maybe they've got some kind of diagnosis. You know, I quite often work with some young people that have been to CAMS, etc. So yeah, and I work with them maybe, again, that can range once a week, an hour a week. And I can see them maybe 6 to 8 weeks, or it can be all year round. You know, it really depends on, you know, the issues. You know, obviously, you know, young people that have maybe had some kind of trauma or depression, etc., they're going to need long-term intervention. Whereas maybe some of the, you know, the other ones that are maybe we're only working on one particular issue, say maybe behaving better in class, etc., they might only need like short-term interventions. So yeah, so that's kind of the way I do it, how I work in the school. And I do that, you know, using different kind of interventions. So, you know, my background is cognitive behavioural therapy. So I tend to do a lot of kind of things around that, you know, teaching young people actual practical skills that they can apply, you know, to manage their anxiety, their depression, self-esteem, etc. Some of them I might just play a game of cards, as we were talking earlier, you know, or a game of snakes and ladders. Sometimes I'll maybe do some wee bits of art, or, you know, playing with some Play-Doh or something. You know, I try and get along the young person and kind of see what would suit them, you know. So I try and adapt the kind of each session to suit their needs. So if I know that maybe, you know, CBT is maybe a wee bit, you know, too kind of advanced or whatever, you know, maybe they would rather, you know, play cards or something, I'll do that. Just, you know, it's just about trying to find a way to kind of, you know, engage with that young person and get them to open up. I also do some workshops in the school as well. So, you know, workshops have ranged from teaching full year groups about sleep hygiene. I'm currently doing that with the first years. So they'll be getting, you know, a series of free workshops teaching them, you know, about the harmful effects of not sleeping correctly, etc. And, you know, and the positive changes that it can make. I'm going to also be doing some mindfulness and relaxation in the new term. And regularly I do exam stress workshops. And at times, you know, I'll take part in inset days. So, you know, kind of ones that I've done in the past have included like mental health awareness, looking at stigma around mental health, and, you know, just mindfulness and stress awareness, etc. So that's really it, I think. I don't think I've missed it.
Is that all?
Is that all? Be honest.
I was thinking that.
That's a lot. And I work with about 20 pupils a week. You know, that's my kind of caseload. So, and that, you know, we keep it at 20 so that I've got time to do my kind of, you know, prep, you know, and all my paperwork, as well as some time to do some kind of classwork as well. So it's a good balance.
Aye, it sounds great, and I'm sure that the school
definitely.
definitely
My weight bigger every day, I think. As Michael knows.
Speaking about Castlemilk High School, and we were both saying like how much it's needed within schools, and a support like that, especially for mental health and things like that, Linda, in a year like this as well, when the kids are so unsafe, it's definitely needed. But as Michael says, you're doing a lot of stuff, especially over 4 days, but it's brilliant stuff as well, and it's well needed.
Thank you.
What about yourself, Michael? What's your role within St Margaret Mary's?
See, all I had written here was, hi, my name's Michael and I'm a youth worker. And that was it. I need to follow that up.
Well, you do a lot better than me.
No, I don't know about that. So obviously I'm the youth worker based in the school. I think the schools either call it youth work or home link, as you'll know yourselves. But I just like to just say I'm the youth worker in the school. If you go to maybe different meetings and stuff, other people will know it as the home link worker, because I think there's a few more secondary schools that have took it in kind of recently, and that's the kind of umbrella that they sell it under, is Homelink. So, but my role is very different. It can change day to day. I don't kind of have a set list of things that I go through. As you'll know yourself, Lee and Kirsty, it's when you're in the school, depending on how the young people are doing that day, how they're doing that week, it can be very different. Some weeks it can be totally fine. You're coming in, you're chatting to young people, and they're like, "Aye, I'm fine, everything's gone great." And then it can be other weeks where young people are just having a bit of a meltdown, and you're just kind of that friendly face in school that they can come and chat to. And maybe if they don't feel comfortable speaking to staff or even speaking to their pastoral care teachers about certain things, then they would maybe chat my door and just ask if I was available to catch up with them. I know the school roles are quite different, because I know Kelly was on last week talking about her role within the school, and for as much as we do the same role in the school, they work a wee bit differently for both schools, and I think that just shows you the role of a youth worker is different wherever you're in the city or wherever you're in kind of the country or anything like that. So depending on the needs of the young people, and even the needs of the young people from St Margaret Mary's to Castlemilk High can be totally different. So I think for us in our roles, we need to be able to adapt, and it's just about being aware at the time, and kind of the same as what Linda was saying, is delivering different workshops. So recently I was delivering a knife crime workshop the other day to a group of S2 young people, just kind of touching on knife crime and the kind of responsibilities and the risks if you get caught kind of carrying knives. I've delivered drugs and alcohol workshops. When I first started in the school, I think they'd asked me to kind of deliver attendance workshops, and I was like, what's an attendance workshop? I've never done anything like, how do you plan an attendance workshop? But it was basically just to kind of touch on how, if young people missed like a week or every now and again, how it was going to have an impact on their overall kind of either school grade. Because young people, when they come to me, I don't know if it's the same in Cassie High, they'll always go, what's my attendance rate at, or what am I at? And they always kind of, it's as if it's a wee kind of marker to see if they can get it higher the next time they come and see you. So I've always found that that was my kind of first role, was to go in and try and help young people just be able to attend school. So just make it a kind of friendlier place for them. Because I remember when I was at school and I went to St Margaret Mary's, it was in the old build St Margaret Mary's, so it was quite daunting going to secondary school. And I think just having somebody there that knows your name and kind of looks out for you, and you know that you can go to their room. I'm on first name terms with every young person that's in the school, so they'll come to me. It's no Mr. Hanrahan or anything like that. It's Mr. Michael sometimes I get called, but that's about as far as it goes. But it's just that friendly face, because I think when I was at secondary school, I would have loved to have just had somebody that I could go and chat to, and even just chat about football and stuff. I find some of my time I'm sitting with a young person and I'm talking about how the football went the other night before or whatever. So I think it's just, they feel comfortable coming into me, they'll chat to me. Other days they might not need to chat to me, or they might not talk to me, and then the next day they need to come and chat my door and just let me know how things are going. But it's constantly changing, and I think for you in Castlemilk High, you will see it as well. Every day, no day is the same. You couldn't go in and say, right, this is what's going to happen today, and this is what I'm going to need to deal with, because it never goes down like that. And if you plan a session with a young person, or if you plan a workshop, very rarely do you get from A to Z of what you'd planned. It just goes away in tangents. So it's interesting.
Myself and Kelly were saying that.
You've kind of touched on it a wee bit, but how youth workers weren't in schools when we were at school. What is the benefit of having a youth worker and a counsellor in schools? Are you being based in a school?
I think just being there. I think a lot of young time when I was at school, if I wanted to speak to a youth worker, I would have 50 went to the youth complex, or I would have 50 maybe went to like say the health drop-in, for example, to catch up with a youth worker, or if I met the detached team, you would see them. So I think just knowing that there's somebody in the school that you can go and talk to, they're there, they're not going to judge you maybe as much as maybe a teacher, because teachers have a certain way of dealing with things. Obviously, teachers need to be there to educate. Also, if you've got a teacher who you go and talk to and you get on really well with, then that's great, and it's good to go and talk to them. But sometimes teachers don't have the time because they're timetabled for here, there and everywhere. So maybe if a young person went to talk to them and the teacher would maybe really want to listen to what they've got to say, they just couldn't, because they have to be other places. So I think young people knowing that we're there, we're in our rooms, and if they come to us, and if we're busy with another young person or whatever, we'll make an effort to make sure we catch up with them before the end of the school day. So I just think it's that being there all the time, and young people can put their hat on and say, right, I know Michael's in school from Monday to Friday, so I'll be able to talk to him if they need me. So I think for me, it's just we're there, basically.
There's definitely been a few times when maybe a young person's been in the youth complex at night, and then I've phoned you, Michael, and been like, going to check in with them because they were feeling a wee bit low, or they had a wee thought with their pals, going to make sure that they've got somebody to sit with for lunch and things like that. So it's good that we've got that connection where we can create that wraparound care to make sure that there's support through the night, through the day and whatever. And obviously things are a wee bit different now because of COVID, and we're not as opened. Well, we're not opened now, but when we are opened, it's a wee bit kind of less. But it's still, we still have the relationships and still be able to pass on that information.
I was talking to our first year the other day, and I was saying it's kind of a shame that they've missed out on that, kind of gone to the youth complex right away and getting to see us in the school, but then getting to see us out with and getting to see the youth workers in the youth complex and how it works. Like, obviously in my role, I do a wee bit, and I'll probably be able to talk about it a wee bit later, is I'm a detached youth worker, so I do street work on a Friday night as well. So I do sometimes see a lot of the young people who I work with in the school, and they see me out on the streets and they'll come up and talk to me, engage with me. And it's funny because the first years, for example, only know me as Michael for the school. They've never known me as being Michael, the youth worker, or so the first kind of meeting with me was in the school. So then for them, it's gone, well, why is a school member staff walking about Castlemilk? So it's been interesting having that conversation with young people and just telling them that I've done this role before I started in the school and I've kept it going. And then they kind of know. So the same, like Friday night there, I met the same young people that I met last week, because I think they're going out now and going, oh, it's this time Michael will be walking about the street somewhere, so they'll try and look for you. But it's good, and I have conversations, and they'll sit and talk to me about how their school day went, and asking if they can be part of some different group work activity or whatever. So it's a real positive that we're kind of in all kind of sections of their life, basically, in school and out with, when they're maybe hanging about with their pals and stuff as well, which is good.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's good.
Definitely. So they come and look for you in the street, but what about in the school? Where can they find you guys? So, Linda, I suppose it's maybe different. Some people will be referred to you, I suppose.
Yeah, well, obviously, I mean, I've moved room recently, so I think, before, obviously we went into lockdown, etc., everybody knew where I was, because that's where I would deliver all the kind of workshops, etc. But now I've had to move, so I'm kind of having to kind of, like educate people again where I am. And because I'm not able to offer a drop-in at the moment, which I was doing before, my room isn't as, accessible as what Michael's is. So I do have to kind of keep it, just for people that I know come to see me. But I do, occasionally, well, once people get to know where I am, I'm based in the old social subject space.
Right.
I don't know if that means anything to you. And, occasionally, you do get some of the young people, if my door's open, they'll pop their head in, oh, hi, Linda, how are you? Or, if I meet them in the corridor, which happens quite often, I'll get into a wee conversation with them. But yeah, I'm not going about the whole school widely advertising where I am, at the moment, because I don't want people thinking, and I don't mean this badly, I don't want people thinking that they can just come, and hoping to get support when I can't do that, because obviously I've got my kind of appointment systems. But, if that does happen, I'll obviously say to them, which I have done, obviously I can't see, you would have to go on the waiting list, but, please go and speak to Michael. I'll always kind of do that, or refer them on to pastoral care. So it's a wee bit different for me, but
it's a great way to do it, but to introduce them to Michael, I suppose, and then if you were to send them to Michael, where would they find you in the school?
So I'm right next to the school library. So in St Margaret Mary's, when you got up to the first floor, and then you just head across to the library. It used to be an old storage cupboard, my room, so it doesn't look like that now, right enough.
It's
when I first moved in,
Aye,
that's it. It's kind of like Narnia when you go in. There's all sorts in it, and it gets bigger and bigger as the weeks go on. But when I first went into the school used to use it to store. They used to get breakfasts delivered every kind of week or every morning, and they used to get like bananas, muffins, and all that. So they used to use that room as storage for that. So when I first went in, like for the first month, my room was stinking of bananas, because it was just that's where they were stored. But it's quite a nice wee room, and it's quite welcoming. I don't know if you've ever seen it or whatever. But there's a wee couch in it. Aye, what's that, Kirsty?
Did the couch have to go away because of COVID?
No, it's still there. So if they come in, if a young person will come in, so just now I'm only allowed one young person in my room at a time, because my room is quite small, so I couldn't have any more than that. But my door's always open, and then after a young person comes in, we do the whole kind of wiping down the surfaces and sanitising and all that kind of thing. But for me, it's a wee bit different for Linda. Like, if young people pop along to my room, because my door's always open, and if I'm in with a young person, then I'll let that other young person that's came to see me know that I'll catch up with them later on in the day. If it's something really urgent, then what I would do is I would try and go out in maybe the corridor or whatever and speak to them whilst I've got a young person, and see if they maybe could speak to another school staff whilst they're waiting to catch up with me. So for me, it's different. I don't know if it's the same in Castlemilk High. Like, the school will maybe refer young people for me to talk to, so maybe somebody that they think could use a youth worker's input, or they just need somebody to catch up with. They will then say, Michael, can you speak to this young person or that young person? I don't have a kind of set weekly pattern of how often I need to see that young person. I'll come to an agreement with them at the time. I'll say, if you want to see me weekly, great. If it's once every couple of weeks or month, then it's totally up to them as well. So I don't have a structure the same as what Linda would, where she needs to maybe get through a certain plan in a certain number of weeks. So I'm kind of open. And there's some young people who will come to me, I don't see them for another couple of months, and then they'll pop their head back in my door saying, are you available today, just to have a catch up? So I quite like that it's open like that, and young people can drop in whenever they need to, basically.
Aye. And sometimes up at the shops at lunchtime as well, right, Michael?
Aye. So recently, I've been walking up to. I was up Stravanen shops for the past couple of weeks, walking up, and PC Chapman had been walking up as well. So just going up and engaging young people when they're up there, because I think they can buy like chips, cheese, and curry sauce and stuff. That seems to be the popular dish when they go up to the shops there, or it's hot dogs or coca noodles. So when they're up there buying them, I'll engage with them and just see what they're up to. And I think it's been good for young people to see me out with the school, and then it's kind of taking me back to my detached kind of stuff as well when I'm out and talking to them in the community. And then recently I've been walking down to Castlemilk shops down near McDonald's. So just kind of taking a wee walk down there at lunchtime and just engaging with the young people as they go for their lunch and come back to school as well. So that's been quite good.
Brilliant. Excellent. So probably the next question is, how has working in a school built a partnership with the youth complex between the schools and the complex, and how's it strengthened your relationships with young people?
Who's going first?
You can go, Linda, you can go.
Oh God. Well, to be honest, for us, as the Youth Stress Centre, we've had a kind of ongoing kind of partnership with the school anyway, since about 2004. When I first started in the role as a project coordinator in the Youth Stress Centre, you know, I kind of set up like individual support, you know, within the primary schools and secondary schools around like anger management, and, you know, and doing things like that. Working with, you know, individuals around anger, emotional literacy. We were also in doing like exam stress workshops. So I've always had this kind of relationship with the school anyway. And even before I was asked by Mrs. Seary to come in, you know, I had been in doing some kind of counselling with some of the pupils through our neurological project through the Youth Stress Centre Youth Complex. So for me, it's consolidated it, you know, it's made it stronger. It's definitely strengthened the relationships between not just the Youth Stress Centre, but I think the whole complex as a whole, as well as, you know, I think for me, it's definitely, you know, it helps in my relationships with the clients that I'm working with, pupils, sorry, I always call them clients, pupils, because, you know, I don't know, I'm getting to kind of know them a bit more. You know, I think we were at a bit of a disadvantage the way we used to work before. It was a case of you go into the school, meet with a pupil for an hour, come back out. So you had no idea about what was going on in that, you know, pupil's life, how they were actually functioning in school, at home, you know, how the school was operating, you know, all these kind of things. So you weren't really involved in the school day as such. So this being involved in the school 4 days a week has been great. It's really, you know, helped to kind of, you know, build that relationship, not just with the school, but with the pupils as well. Definitely.
I think you touched on something quite important there as well. I don't think I worded the question quite well, actually, because you covered something saying that it strengthened the relationship between the groups within the complex as well. So you look at the staff that are in the school. So myself, Kirsty and Kelly are for the hub team, and Michael's for Streetwise, and you're for Youth Stress. And that's different teams within the complex, all working in school. So that means we're having meetings together, speaking to each other, and then we've got something exciting coming up in the start of next year for all the teams coming together. So I think that will benefit the young people as well.
Oh, definitely. I think that we're all working together now. It can only benefit the young people of Castlemilk. and you know, further afield. Definitely, I think it's good that we're all working more jointly together, you know, rather than isolation that I think we've all kind of done in the past. You know, Youth Stress Centre do their bit, Streetwise do their bit, and now we're all working kind of together. So I know it's good all round.
Aye, definitely. What about you, Michael? How do you think it's built a partnership up?
I think, as Linda kind of touched on there, it's just kind of got stronger as the past. I think I've been in the school now just about 3 years, so I'm maybe just under 3 years. So I think in my time, and I remember back through when I was a young person going to St Margaret Mary's, like I never attended the youth complex as a young person, so I didn't know. The first time I've been in the youth complex was when I got my job with Streetwise and the detached project. So for me, I think I always felt as if there was maybe a kind of connection with Castlemilk High in the youth complex. More pupils for Castlemilk High always went to the youth complex rather than St Margaret Mary's when I was younger. I don't know if that's just what I thought or if that's what actually happened, but I think as the years have went by, and I've noticed it more as the years that we've been in school, is a lot of St Margaret Mary's pupils use the youth complex and they go there and they enjoy it, and I think
some of them become staff there.
No,
yes.
Aye, definitely, and I think it's just, I think the relationship has got stronger and stronger. I think St Margaret Mary's, like Mrs. Seary and other staff, have seen what we do in the youth complex. They've got to know our roles a wee bit better, because maybe before, maybe school staff didn't really know what the role of a youth worker was, and they maybe had other ideas in their mind, and then when they've seen us come in and working, they've went, wow, we should have had this 5 years, 10 years ago in the school. So I think it's made that connection much stronger. And I think, as Kirsty touched on earlier, for the young people, it's like if something went on in the youth complex, or if something went on in school, and we've got that relationship between all the kind of teams now that we can contact each other and say, by the way, look out for so-and-so and just make sure that they're okay, they're having a bit of a hard time or whatever. And it's just, and I think it's only going to benefit the young people, because the more that we're all connected and working together, it's for the benefit of the young person. So, no, it's good to have that joint approach, I think.
Yeah. Aye, brilliant. So finally, just say what's next for youth work in schools? Or counselling, I suppose, as well.
Well, personally, I would hope that that youth work counselling won't be just something that's kind of paid for year to year, that it'll be a kind of long-term commitment, almost becomes part of the curriculum. You know, just as important as the academic subjects, that there's a youth worker there all the time, a counsellor there all the time. But, you know, and it's not down to the discretion of each school, it's a requirement of every school to have this in place. And I think, you know, in terms of counselling, it's definitely heading that way, you know, because there's a lot more funding getting kind of, you know, like piled into school counsellors, etc. In terms of Glasgow, they're a wee bit behind. I think, you know, originally the plan was that would happen this year, but because of COVID, that's all kind of been put on hold. So there is, you know, moves to make sure that every school in Glasgow, every school has a counsellor. So, but in terms of youth work, I don't know, because that's your kind of expertise.
What are you saying to
it? I think just more schools, more secondary schools especially, that learn about what youth workers do in the school and how it's benefit the schools, and I think it's only going to grow arm and legs. Like I seen a couple of weeks ago, there was a job getting applied. People were looking for youth workers, and I can't remember what school it was, but I've just seen more and more of them kind of pot them up on some of these different kind of job agencies and stuff. And I think it's just kind of word of mouth is going out. Head teachers, when they go to these meetings or they go and talk, and they're maybe saying, I've got a youth worker and they're doing so and so, blah blah blah, and then the other head teacher, a wee thing will go, well, I want a youth worker because it's going to then help benefit my staff. And I think the school, they kind of see it, and it's probably the same in Castlemilk High, they kind of see it as an extension maybe to their kind of pastoral team. And it's just kind of like, so if you can't, maybe if you don't want to speak to pastoral staff or whatever, we're still helping in a kind of pastoral capacity, but it's a youth work capacity as well. And we've maybe got that freedom to maybe have an in-depth conversation about certain things that the school wouldn't be able to as well. So I just think as the years go by, I hope that more and more youth workers start to work in secondary schools and maybe have bases in secondary schools, so are based in secondary schools where youth workers can come and go. Because I remember, I think years ago at St Margaret Mary's when I was there, in the old, there was definitely like some sort of kind of
There
youth work facility that
was.
was based in St Margaret
There was, I
Mary's.
remember
Because
that.
I remember, do you remember what it was called?
No, I
Linda,
do
no?
remember it though, because I lived right across the road
Aye.
from St Margaret Mary's.
Yeah, so their office
Aye,
was in St
that's
Margaret
right.
Mary's, so I remember that's where they were based. And then obviously, it's because it was a much bigger building than that at the time, so the schools don't have the capacity for that. But hopefully, as time goes on, like just now, we've got our kind of bases in Castlemilk High and St Margaret Mary's, and maybe the more youth workers that come up and want to work in the schools, they can come in and start working in Castlemilk High or start working in St Margaret Mary's, learning and moving on to other schools and stuff as well. So I see it growing arms and legs, and I think especially now because of what's happened with kind of COVID and all that stuff, I think there's a need for it, and it's definitely needed in the
If
schools.
there's any schools listening and you want a youth worker,
And get us all in.
big things, Kings Park and Hollywood, and doesn't have to be in
Definitely.
Castlemilk, it can be anywhere.
Definitely.
It can be Govan,
Definitely. And that's
McDonald's, it can
Aye.
be Pollock
Oh,
Shield,
anywhere. Aye.
anywhere. We can go
Aye.
anywhere and we can turn our skills to anything.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
One magic.
aye. And I would say
But let's
I would
get
say
longer
anybody-
term funding.
Yes.
None of this year-to-year stuff.
I think anybody that's swilling with careers and they've maybe wanted to be a youth worker, I think this is probably the best time to maybe try and get into youth work
Aye.
because there is more roles that are coming out that are maybe part-time or full-time, whereas years ago youth work was just kind of sessional and it was like stuff that you had to do after you went and done your 9-to-5
That's
job
true.
somewhere else. So I think now that it's getting seen as an actual profession and it's getting treated like one as well, I think is great, and it's only going to benefit young people as well.
Definitely.
Recognised, definitely. I feel as if there's more recognition. So I teach the community youth work skills class.
Yeah.
Castlemilk High and St Margaret Mary's. And the more people that come up, and I'm educating them that it's a profession, it's a career.
Definitely.
And less less young people are saying, "I what's your real job?" Or do you actually get paid to do that? Less and less people are saying
Aye.
that. So
Aye.
whereas it was quite a common occurrence. So I think the understanding of it is greater, definitely.
Aye. I always found that stigma, like I've always worked in kind of, before I was a youth worker, I was a play worker, and then before that I was a coach, so I've always kind of worked with young people, and I think there was always a stigma like, right, you do that, you talk to young people, you play board games or whatever, but what else do you do? What's your, as you say, Kirsty, like what's your real job? There must be, like, how do you get paid to do that? But I think now people see it as a kind of profession.
How do you create change? By playing pool?
Because you build a relationship with that person.
Aye. And I think the people that have looked at the role from outside and now they're starting to see the benefits that it's had, as I say, the head teachers in both schools in Castlemilk High and St Margaret Mary's have been really good, and they've bought into the kind of philosophy of what it is we do. They've gave us a bit of trust and a bit of freedom to build the role and kind of make it what we think it needs to be as well for the school. So I think that's been great, and I think people looking for the outside, as you say, Holyrood, the Kings Park, all these other schools, if they're looking at it and going, well, what else do we need to help our young people? Then it's definitely a youth worker in your school. That's one step you could take.
Complex youth worker.
And counsellor.
Yeah, well, that's and counsellor.
Or support. I was
going
trying to think another name, but I can't think it.
I was going to ask you, Kirsty, actually the same question that I finished the interview with, just because you're in the school as well, but you do like more employability and stuff like that. So
so I do DYW, which is developing the young workforce, and the reason that I am in Castlemilk High is because they know that I've got the connection with organisations and the community connection. So there's different elements of it. So it's things like supporting people to get work experience. So young people, it's quite scary to do your work experience. And when I was at school, you did, in fourth year, you did this 1 week, and if you didn't get it sorted, you end up having to go to a pure rubbish place, and you were like, oh God. But no, it's no just that standard 1 week. It can happen any time of the year, basically. So we spotted a young person who came and worked in the CYC studio with Gal. Big shout out to Gal. And Gal is sound engineer for the churches. No, the Holy Churches, the band. And he had 3 days of really long recording with this Scottish up-and-coming band. And this young person was allowed to come out of school for those 3 days and work with him, because see that 1 week that was normally meant to happen, Gal would have been touring at that point. So that young person would never have ever been able to have that opportunity. Now it's the case. It's about the individual, their timetable, how things are kind of happening. Right now, work experience is very, very limited, and it's only really virtual work experience, but that doesn't mean that it's no good. There is some, it's like master classes, so it's Zoom meetings, or there's events where you take part in getting information, you write up a wee survey about it and then hand it back. But if you're interested in any of that, and if you're from St Margaret Mary's or Castlemont High, let me know, because part of my job club role in the youth complex and part of my DYW role is to support things like that. Another thing is to help people get jobs, and there's no jobs to do because of COVID, because everybody's furloughed. So helping people get ready for the world of work, but also getting ready for college and university, and things like that, and training courses. So all of the aspects that we work in partnership with. So I work closely with Alana, who is based in St Margaret Mary's, but she's also in Castlemont High. And the SDS workers, so Stacey from Castlemont High and Alan from St Margaret Mary's. And then we've got the SDS Careers Advisor, the post-school team are based in the youth complex. So that's Michelle, Peter and Scott. So we've got a great connection with everybody, and it's just about making sure that the young people get the enough support, really. We're actually running a course just now in the youth complex, a training course run by Rangers. It's employability and like a sport element of it, and we've had amazing success stories from it. We've had 3 employments. We've got 2 people who've got interviews for college. We've got 2 people that were so disengaged with school they hadn't even looked at the school building for about a year. They're there every day. Like, what? How crazy is that? Mental. So there's my role is changes all the time, just depending on the need of the young people and maybe the market as well that's there. So this year normally we would do mock interviews, but this year we're doing Zoom interviews. So we're teaching young people how to be prepared to do an interview online and kind of face that fear, because at least when you did a mock interview you didn't have to look at yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I say that all the time. It's really hard.
I find myself doing it in Zoom meetings, just staring at myself.
I'm like, look at that red face.
Or it's, you need to make sure what's in your background as well. Don't your knickers up.
I know.
So these are new skills. We are all learning. We need to teach young people how to adapt to them as well.
It's good what you said about the work experience, because like, I remember when I was at school again, like for work experience, and it was all jobs pinned to a board. Yep. Basically, whoever got there first got the best jobs to go to. I was obviously one of the unlucky ones who was last, and I think I had to go to like a food tech college for a week, and like it was the worst work experience ever. Like, and it was basically home ekies, but in a college setting. But it wasn't what I wanted to do. It wasn't anything that I kind of enjoyed or said this is what I'm going to do when I leave school. So it was just pointless to me. So I think what you said, Kirsty, like touching on the kind of the young person, the individual, and finding out what they like, and then try to find them something, doing that kind of path.
And it doesn't have to be a full week. It doesn't have to be like, so that young person did 3 full long days, like really long days. And then I think he got the rest of the week off because he was working so much. There was another young person that went to Castleton Housing and did that, and they did that for every Friday for about 2-3 months. And that was what was allowed and what was agreed. So it's just depending on you as an individual, the organisation that's in the community, or like the kind of greater community as well. And we've got lots of partnerships with bigger organisations that are crying out to take people. But the bigger organisations now are doing lots of virtual work experience online, and they're doing seminars, they're calling it. All this sounds terrifying and scary, and you're like, oh, what does that mean? Just a wee chat online, a group of other people, and you're having a conversation about a field of work that you're interested in. Don't know the answer, don't need to ask a question. That's it.
But that's just another reason why they should have youth workers in their schools.
Exactly.
And counsellors, especially for the Castlemilk Youth Complex. So,
Definitely.
Maureen McKenna, if you watch the last 2 episodes, then you know,
Aye,
what to
there
get.
you go. Fraser will be taking these videos about everywhere, just playing them to people.
Now one of the big vans that drive about.
Aye.
We need the Coca-Cola advert. We just need this.
Aye.
Okay, thanks very much, guys. That's the interview over, but the questions aren't over yet. Because as I
Oh
said
no,
before
the
we
quiz.
started- Aye, Linda's just remembered. But the good thing is, since there's 2 guests on, you can go as a team up against Kirsty this week.
Right.
This is unfair.
Every week.
So how does this work?
I lose.
Is
That
it-
is
is
how
it a
I
buzzer?
lose.
So you get a question
right.
each, and you guys will get paid if you
God.
go first. So since last week we had a school interview, we've done a school quiz. This week's also a school interview. We've got
Oh
a
my
school
God.
quiz again.
No.
I've got 10 subjects here, and when it's your turn, you get to choose a subject. Once that subject's question has been answered,
Ah,
it's
right.
Oh,
Pressure.
I hope you're good, Linda, because I'll be
Oh.
rubbish.
I was rubbish at school.
I know, so was that. Terrible.
If one gets it wrong, the other person can steal a point. We answer it.
Oh God.
So
Right.
the last week, have you got a team name? St Margaret Mary's?
I
The
don't know.
Maggies.
The Maggies. Right, the Maggies. It's your choice. Go first or second.
You go. What do you think, Linda? First or
Oh
second?
God. You go. I'll go second.
Go second. Right. So first is Kirsty. Okay. Now, Kirsty, here's your subjects. Right. Listen up. Science, maths, English, PE, art, history, geography, music, drama, and modern studies.
Drama.
Drama. Okay.
Let's see if I get this wrong. I'll be pure annoyed, but it's the pressure of a quiz. It's like an exam.
Don't stress.
So this is the drama question. Okay. Which playwright, famous for Death of a Salesman and The Crucible, was married to Marilyn Monroe?
Oh my God. Thingy, Arthur. Yes. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, I did The Crucible. I was in it. Oh my God. I can see it. I can see the play.
Right. Okay.
Gotta give me a letter.
No.
2 syllables.
You're always cheating on this quiz.
I'm not cheating.
Chapman.
Look.
It's like school or air again. She's looking at
He's a
the
clue.
shoulder.
Oh. Is
Have
it
you
got
got an
Arthur
answer?
in it, or is it MacArthur? Arthur and
It's got
MacArthur.
Arthur. That's his first name. That's the guy's
Arthur.
first name.
Right. Okay. Right. So at least you get like half a point.
Aye, but then if they get the surname, they
Do
get half
you
a
know
point.
this, Michael? I
Nope.
don't think I do.
Arthur Miller.
Hey.
Arthur Miller.
Arthur Miller's correct. Well done.
Well done.
Oh.
Well done. That's impressive.
That is impressive.
I would never
That's-
have got that.
That was difficult. I was like Arthur MacArthur.
Arthur MacArthur. What a guy. Okay, guys. Maggie's, you're up next.
Oh, pressure.
What subject we going for, Linda?
Oh, no drama anyway.
Drama's off the list anyway. So,
I don't know. What do you think? What was the list?
So-
History,
science, maths, English, PE, art, history, geography, music, modern studies.
music.
Music. All right. Okay. Can you name the 4 sections of an orchestra?
What?
1, 2, 3, and 4.
That bit, and that bit.
Up, down, left, right.
Oh my God! Are you joking me? 4 sections of an. Who would know that?
You can confer.
Right,
So what is
Michael.
it? Is that like strings? Or is that-
Strings.
I don't. They probably have a fancy name for all these
Oh.
sections, but I don't know. I'm just thinking like
Okay. Well, I tell you, strings is
Aye,
correct. Okay, so that's
strings.
one.
good strings.
Oh my God. Percussion.
Percussion is correct.
Oh yes.
You've got half a point there.
Michael, you're just that.
It's a tuba.
To do this.
On yourself, Linda.
Think on the instruments. Right, you've got strings.
So what about drums?
Percussion, drums. That's percussion, isn't it? I don't know, is it wind? Do you call them wind?
We'll give you that. It's woodwind.
Woodwind, right? Oh God. What would be the last one?
The last one. Will I tell you what instruments are in the last one?
Aye, go for it.
You've got like a trumpet, a trombone, a horn, a cornet.
Is that not?
Oh, the squeaky section, the squeaky bit.
That's correct. Aye, that's what they call it. Mozart's Fifth Symphony.
Oh my God, I've no clue, man.
Is it the type of material that the instruments are made out of?
Oh, is it?
So it's no gold. It's
Copper.
Bronze.
bronze.
Brass.
Brass.
Oh, brass. Brass section.
Aye, well done.
Come on,
4
Lynn.
out of 4. Well done. Right, one each.
See, I draft
Helps
music.
a wee
in
bit
school,
for
I didn't
that,
like
yeah.
it.
Any music either. I was hoping you were going to ask me a bleeding
I
question
know.
about
Madonna.
Who's in the Arctic Monkeys
Coldplay
or
or
something?
something.
All right, Kirsty, we're back to you. What subject would you like?
Let's go for history.
History, right. Who was the leader of the Soviet Union during World War II?
The Soviet Union.
Oh, I see.
Is it also the name of a band?
No.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I think this band would be banned for a lot of places if they were called that.
No, that was World War One.
The Soviet Union.
No, was that World War Two? Do you know this, Michael?
I wanted to say Franz Ferdinand.
No, Franz Ferdinand. No. He was an archduke in the First World War, and he was assassinated, and that's what kind of caused the First World War. But
Oh, really? Wow.
Who was that?
He got shot when they came out of, what do you call it, the thingy guy came out of the cafe, didn't he?
in
In a wee
Surrey,
plane.
aye. So, will I pass it over then, Kirsty?
Aye.
Right,
Since
okay,
I
okay.
helped them last time, but they never helped me.
I don't know.
Linda's jumping up and down. See, I know this.
I thought I did, but I'm thinking of World War One because I was thinking of the royal family that were shot, etc. What kind of story I'm talking about? The Russian Tsar and things like that. Was it Stalin?
It was Joseph Stalin, aye, correct.
Yeah, I was right.
Yes, Linda. I'm like that wee person that stands at the chase on the chase
you're
and just
the
lets her
hype girl.
teammates gets the points up, and then I walk away with 20 grand at the end of the day.
Sorry, and I should have gave you a clue. You gave me one. Sorry about that. I didn't know how would I say that. How could I give you a clue for that?
Reminds me most of Jalin. Alright, so let's move on to Maggie's, and the next question goes to Maggie's. So, what subject would you like?
I don't know. Will we take PE, Linda? Will we try that?
God, aye. Well, you should be good at this.
No, I don't know.
Okay, PE.
I was good at sports when I was young, but not anymore.
See, during lockdown when there was Zoom quizzes happening, I was terrible. I think I finished last every time that somebody done a Zoom quiz,
Same.
to the point that I just stopped taking part in them. Aye. I had the kid on, I had like Wi-Fi problems, so I didn't get embarrassed.
I was good at creating team names. That was it.
Alright, so the PE question is, dig, spike, serve and block are all terms used in which sport?
Oh, volleyball? Is
That's
it?
the answer.
Hold on. Dig,
Is it, no?
spike. What was the other ones? Dig, spike.
Serve and block.
That is. I think you're right.
I say volleyball.
It's correct. A 3-1 up. Kirsty. Maggie's a 3-1 up.
Oh, I did actually know that one.
Alright, Kirsty, what subject would you like?
What's left?
Science, maths, English, art, geography,
I'm not getting
and
any of
modern studies.
I think that's all the ones I dogged in school.
Just take the maths question. Take that.
I
Get
go
out
for
of
that.
it.
Dyslexic. Yeah, count. It's like he's a maths one. He's for a giggle.
What is 30% of 90?
What?
Oh,
What is 30% of 90?
30% of 90? Oh, God, yeah.
28?
Try again.
Alright, wait.
What way are you doing it?
10% times 3.
Mm-hmm.
27.
Aye, correct. Well done.
I counted an extra finger.
I wouldn't have got that. It'd take me at least another 10 minutes to figure that one out.
Yeah,
There
do
you
you know
go.
what? I only know that because I was helping one of the ways. One of the ways to the homework. And the reflection.
Well done, Kirsty. A maths question, right, for someone with dyslexia. That's brilliant. Well done.
I know, well done.
So it's 3-2, so we pass it on to the Margins to choose a subject.
Geography.
Geography, right.
I tell you
And
something,
what's-
my geography teacher had extra toes and it actually gave me the pure fear.
I was actually good at geography.
How did you
if I
know
get
that?
this right.
Handles all the time.
Oh, you don't like toes, you
Oh.
don't like
If
feet.
anybody ever went to lower secondary school and they get taught by Miss Wilson, they'll know the creepy toes. They was like that.
Oh,
They
she's
were each other, and there was hundreds of them. And my Jesus
So
sandals.
you'd have got more than 28 if she was counting on her fingers.
It's a cruel.
He was cool.
Right, so let's go with geography. So, in which European city would I be if I visited the Wawel Castle and Schindler's Factory?
City.
Yep.
Oh my God. Say it again.
In which European city would I be if I visited the Wawel Castle and
Wawel.
Schindler's Factory? Wawel is spelled, or it might be Wawel. Wawel.
Do you know, Michael?
no, I'm thinking it's in Poland somewhere, but that's probably totally wrong.
I was thinking maybe Germany, but I'm not sure which city. Maybe not.
I don't know.
I'm thinking, well, was that based in Germany, that film? I'm thinking of Schindler's List. Have you seen that film?
No, that's what I was thinking. No.
Right, but I don't know if that was based in Germany, was it? I don't know. How do you spell wow, whatever it is?
W-A-W-E.
Stop stalling. Can you use it in a sentence?
Aye.
Where's the origin of the word?
If you were to point to a map, where would it
What? If I go through the alphabet, stop.
be? I don't know. I'd say I don't know. It's either Poland or Germany. I'd say, but I was thinking towards Poland
yeah,
somewhere.
Well, maybe.
What we got?
What are you thinking? Warsaw?
Warsaw or Krakow? I don't know.
You decide. You
Right,
decide.
go, just say Warsaw. Say Warsaw.
Warsaw.
Warsaw's incorrect, guys, so we pass it over to Kirsty.
Is it Krakow?
It is Krakow.
Ah, you bandit!
Oh, I
Oh,
went.
Michael, you were so good. Oh, you've been.
I went. Oh my God, it was a horrific but amazing experience. And I went to Auschwitz and I went to Schindler's Factory in Krakow, and then I went to Dachau, which is a concentration camp in Germany as well.
Really? Right. That must be dead fascinating. I'd love to go and see that. You know what I mean?
See the schools in Germany, that's part, like they've got to, as part, like, you know how or we all went to like Blair Vadok and that's like a rite of passage when you're in primary school. That's what Germany make all their kids do, is they all have to go to a concentration camp and do a big project about it so that they don't recreate history.
No, that's a good idea, but it must be quite.
It's almost like you can feel something there.
Eerie.
The smell is still there.
What? Really?
Yeah, it's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Oh.
And so in Dachau, the Dachau concentration camp was small, but it was massive at the time. So we went there and we're like, this is huge. Then we went to Auschwitz and I was like, no, that wasn't big. This is, you could fit like 10 of them. And
you can't even imagine, can you?
No.
I know.
It's not something you turn around and say recommend, but I would say that everybody should probably try and get there.
Oh, definitely.
100%. It's amazing. And the tour, like you get the wee earphones and whatever, and you go down and the museums that are in the place, and there's lots of different places for you to worship as well. So there's a Jewish temple, there's a mosque, there's like just like wee small ones. There's a chapel, there's a church, there's all of them on the place for you to go and pay your respects with your own religion. Which is, I think, is lovely because they're incorporating that and they're constantly changing how people can go and pay their respects and and there's people finding stuff and interviewing people that were part of it or family members that they found diaries and stuff like that they've recently found and they're interviewing them. So it's really good. It's horrible, but
good.
And as soon as you come back out the gates, you feel that everything's lifted.
Feel the heaviness.
100%. Aye. But I'm glad it got me getting up.
I can imagine.
Aye, that says all tied up.
We were so close.
Unlucky.
Damn.
That's hard lines. And we pass it on to Kirsty for the next question. So what subject would you like, Kirsty? We've got science, English, art, and modern studies left.
Let's go for art.
This isn't a question. This is the question.
I know, but I know I'm going to be rubbish at them all.
What are you going for? Art? Okay, right. Which American artist inspired the Stone Roses for their album and single covers?
Oh my God.
Have you seen their album and single covers? No. Well, John Squire creates them and he bases them on this American artist's paintings. And they're abstract paintings where the paint is like splashed over it. So it's just like paint splashes.
All right.
You know any American artists?
Say it again.
You cheat? Are you cheating?
I was going to say, your Wi-Fi is quite slow, Kirsty.
Can I search that topic? But they know some actors.
Right, okay, good.
I don't know. I have no clue.
Passing it on to Maggie's. Maggie's, do you know?
Do you know, Michael?
DVD, you're a true snake.
Is he still alive?
No, he's dead.
What's his name? And is it Andy Warhol or something?
It's no, but that's a good guess. He's an American.
Right, it's not him. Right, okay.
I don't know it.
I don't know then. That's the only American one I know.
Jackson Pollock.
Oh,
I have heard of him, but no. I wouldn't
Oh, that was a bit unfair, that question. Sorry.
I know. What do you think we are?
All right, Maggie's, it's your turn. What subject would you like? Science, English, or modern studies?
Was it Margaret?
You choose, Linda. You choose.
What have we got? Sorry,
Michael, you're not going to help anyway.
My memory's gone now. Science, what? Modern studies, and what was the other one?
English.
Oh God, science.
Okay.
I was crap at that as well, but anyway.
What is the name of the negatively charged particle in an atom?
What?
Oh my God.
Negatively charged particle in an atom. Do you know this, Michael?
Langley and your sister's like writing a complaint.
I don't know that.
I mean, come on, who made up these questions?
I made them up.
I've read a wee bit about atoms and things like that, but I can't think for the life of me the new what the.
There's 3 subatomic particles in an atom.
Aye, so here's a clue. Name me one of them. See if I can.
So
Proton.
the positively charged one is a proton.
Proton.
Electron. No.
Kirsty, have we passed that on to you yet?
No, not yet. We're still guessing.
I stay sitting with
Aye.
Google open on our phone.
Maybe it is electron. Proton.
Maybe it is electron,
Maybe it
Linda.
is. I bet it is. It is electron. Electron.
Aye, good answer. Well done. Well done.
No, give that to Kirsty. That's
No,
not fair. She got it.
She's sitting on the phone like that.
Did you look that up? She did, didn't she?
Kirsty's done about 8 episodes in the milk round and cheated in about 6 of them.
What?
Like,
We
4
should just be
Maggie.
declared winners.
What a bunch of cheats, aren't we?
No,
We're,
yeah. I gave you the blast in the wind.
we're good role models for these young people out there, aren't we? How to
I
cheat.
know.
Right, Kirsty, what subject do you want? English or Māoris?
English.
English. Who wrote Great Expectations?
Oh, is that not dead easy?
Is it?
That's Linda, yeah.
I don't know.
Linda.
No, I don't know.
Linda.
I was actually going to say the name of another book.
Oh, is that you just backtracking now? Aye.
No.
No, you don't want to help me? Aye. Right. Mm-hmm.
Oh God, actually.
Great Expectations.
Mm.
Charles Dickens.
Correct.
It is, aye.
Like, yes!
Charles Dickens. So I think we're on to the last question. That goes to Michael and
Maggie.
Linda. Maggie's. So if they get this, they win.
Modern
No.
studies, win it.
I just
What
got
subject is
Modern
it?
studies.
I know it's 4 each.
Aye, you're a question.
Okay.
So who is the current Chancellor of Germany?
Oh, what's her name?
Can you try, kid on?
I know it. It's Merkel. Is it? Merkel?
A
I don't know
woman?
her first name.
Can we get the point for that?
I don't think you need the first name. It is Merkel. Angela Merkel is the Chancellor of Germany. Maggie, win this round.
He's been
You know
quiet
what?
the
I'm
whole
quite happy.
game. And now you just.
I got 2 right answers. Linda overruled
my.
my last answer, which so I've had a clean sheet, 100%.
And you got volleyball.
Exactly.
Volleyball, I know. So there we go.
All right.
I actually only get one right, did I know?
You didn't
Aye,
cheat, but that's okay.
Aye.
Didn't cheat. Somebody did cheat and they let the host. Chris Ritchie will be watching. Very
Well, to be
disappointed.
fair, Kirsty helped us out with one, didn't you?
And that's true. That's true. Just want to say thanks very much again for coming on,
Oh,
guys.
thanks for
Really
having us.
Oh, it's been a
Did
good
you
laugh.
enjoy it?
Aye. Aye.
Glad you enjoyed it. So if you've from St Margaret Mary's, go along and say hi to the guys in the school, and there'll be about Michael will be about the streets as well, doing his detached youth work. It doesn't just hang about the streets; he actually works. So
Well,
Aye.
Oh,
You see me, I've got a blue jacket on and I'm usually with Jim, so there's 2 walking about Castlemilk. So if you see, we're in Tory Glen as well on a Friday night, so Tory Glen, Castlemilk, you'll be, if you see us, come up and say hello. Fair, socially distanced, obviously.
both wearing royal blue, they love it. So thanks again, guys.
Thank you.
If you want to get us on social media, you can get us on Facebook at Kelly Youth Complex Staff, on Twitter at Youth Complex CYC, on Instagram at Youth_Complex, TikTok is Kelly Youth Complex, or you can email us at cycyouth@gmail.com. If you can like our video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, ring the bell for notifications, and share the video as far and wide as possible. Get it out to as much people as you can. Thanks again for watching, guys, and thanks for coming on. And cheers, Kirsty, for hosting and ruining our reputation.
I did well.
Those guys, we'll see you next week. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.